right, welcome. We're
Hello.
so excited to talk about the Thriving Artist Challenge
Thanks for
for
being here.
2024.
Here we are. We're here to commit. It's in the
Yes.
stars.
So we wanted to just take some time out of all the other programming we do to just share what we're excited about for 2024. And so I'm Jamie Smith, and this is my partner in crime.
Kaylin Butine, hello.
And we run the Thrive Together Network. And that, of course, is an online network, but also includes live workshops and all sorts of things that we're going to go into so that you know everything that we do. But the biggest thing is that we believe in a business that's based on values of collaboration, community, care and ethics, feminism, supporting caregivers and entrepreneurs, and having rest and sabbaticals planned in. So we're big advocates for having a plan for your year, and we want to make sure that that's baked into everything we do. So we're artists ourselves, and we really wanted community, so we created it. We're excited you're here.
Yeah, and if you don't know our story, Jamie and I were literally doing the same thing from Vancouver and the US. I was in Tennessee at the time, and we became friends because we were kind of, you know, had the same business plan. And eventually we were like, what are we doing? Like, let's just be a global network instead of a Canadian and US network. So now we do this together.
Yeah, and a big thing that we saw and why we, as artists ourselves, we are experiencing it is that artists need a lot of things.
We're very
It's
needy.
not, yeah, it's not as simple as, make some art and get it out in the world. What does that even mean and how do we do that? So we really wanted to have people around us, other artists that were doing the same thing and needed things like exhibition opportunities, strategy for your business, community, art, an art plan, accountability. So all these things we looked at and we thought, how can we create a sustainable solution? So that's how we based on what we do.
Yeah, and a lot of this came about organically, like just thinking about what Jamie and I care about, what we actually need in our own lives. A lot of the programming we've developed is because, if I know I need a website update, I'm going to figure out how to research and update my website and then share it with the community, right? So there's kind of just this ethos of true identity, truly identifying what we need as artists and then how we can use the support of our community to get those things and share our resources with each other. So TTN is kind of hard to explain because we do offer a lot. There's a lot that's involved in what it means to be a member in our community. I think some of the biggest programming that we offer is we have 2 artist residencies a year that we're going to go in and talk about. We do workshops. We give you an exhibition opportunity. There's community built in, there's this consistent affirmation, this warm and loving community of artists. We have a plan for it and we meet weekly. We're going to break each of these things down and talk more about it, but we just wanted you to see that there is this kind of bigger picture that is all about really thinking at our core about what artists need to thrive and survive in their careers and in their lives. And that's kind of what we try to offer. It's complicated. It's a lot.
Yeah. And we really believe in personal nourishment and motivation, planning tools and career strategies, and community support and encouragement from others. And I think this all sounds nice, but as a solo artist in your studio, how do you make this happen for yourself? And also, how do you have the time? Because we're always once we want to add something in, like, I want a community, if you're making that yourself, you have to make time for that. And I feel like, I know for me, I feel like I barely have enough time to get what I want done. I never seem to get it all done. So we want to provide sort of this package that can provide you a lot of these aspects with one membership is our biggest goal, to save you time and energy.
Well, and I think too, if you think and reflect on this combination in your own life, you might be really a great planner and you might naturally know how to strategize for your art career, but you don't always feel nourished in your artist identity. Maybe you don't have people in your life who consistently support you as an artist, or, maybe there's, a different combination of that, in that you have a lot of artist friends, you are great with community, you're always sharing and networking with artists, but you don't really know how to plan and strategize for your career, right? And so we kind of see these three things as, the trifecta of what artists need in various forms in their life. And we try to offer, a variety of those things so you can plug in and engage with sort of that balance that we're sharing.
And we've been thinking a lot, about 2024, and this is the time where all the social media say like, what's your plan? And, what are you going to accomplish? And some of this is just, where are you seen and known as an artist? Sometimes it's a good time to just reflect on things. So where are you appreciated for your art and your outlook on the world? And I hope there's many places for everyone that is felt. It's definitely where I feel TTN makes me feel supported and given pillars of support and consistent reminders of your goals. So where are you able to plug in and say, oh yeah, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. I got to keep going. So thinking about that for yourself, it can really help you then make decisions like to join our community where we have over 400 artists worldwide, and we have built in ways that you can really be seen as an artist and collaborated with and talked about all the struggles and the wins that happen as being a practicing working artist.
Yes, it's a great combination. I think too that idea of motivation is something that many of us are great at. We naturally feel motivated to get out in the studio. Maybe we spend too much time in the studio and we don't do all of the other things that come with being an artist, right? But for some of us, that motivation is something we struggle with. And so we need kind of these consistent, pillars in our life that we're pulled back into this cycle of making, this cycle of career strategy. So I would say this is maybe our bread and butter, Jamie, is our art residency programs in terms of our programming, are our virtual art residencies. If you become a member on TTN, we offer one for you to engage with in the fall. It's like a January, February timeframe, or a winter, and then the fall one is September, October timeframe. And it's a 6-week program where we spend 2 weeks setting up a plan and prepping. And then we go into 4 work weeks where we actually have accountability meetings each week. We offer you like guides to how to make the most out of your residency and how to kind of create a plan for it. And all of that is included in our network sort of workbook, which is called the Thriving Artists Map. So we love the residency programs. It's so motivating to see dozens of other artists doing it with you and in the same flow and making a bunch of work together.
And this fall, we actually have a show that came out of it. So it's on our website. It's a virtual show. Every artist that wanted to participate could put in a piece that they made during the residency. And so that's on our website. You can go check it out. And that is really neat to see all the different work that came out of that time together. So you're literally making work in community, which is really exciting.
Yes.
The other thing we do and we really care about our planning tools and career strategies. So we break the year up in quarters. And so I think especially at the beginning of the year, can feel very overwhelming. This idea of what do I want to accomplish in this whole year? Instead, we think of these sections of the year, the way to break it down. And so we have this program we call the Thriving Artist Map. And this is a workbook. And this year we've made 2024 is also a studio planner. So even if you know, don't come to the Art and Tea live sessions that we have, even if you were kind of started with us and then got on your own path, this would still be useful. So there are planning sessions for every week for your studio, as well as ways to write in career goals. And then we have quarterly planning sheets so you can see how we break out the year. And we also have where you can plan out kind of what you're thinking for social media, newsletter, and marketing. So again, kind of all these things on our to-do list, like I really want to have a marketing plan for this year. Well, we've given you sort of the template to actually make that happen, which is really, really exciting.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's unique about the map and the way that we just think about this membership and this experience together is, it's a challenge to Jamie and I as like leaders, but we really want the flow of what we offer to be porous and flexible enough that any artist can plug in and engage with the content. Anybody can make a plan for their art, right? We're giving you the tools to make the plan, but everybody's plan is going to be different. And so you'll find that like a lot of our what we offer, it's like giving you a structure, but then the way that you use that structure and break it out is fully your own. And we think that's like pretty cool. It's also kind of hard. We take a lot of
Yeah.
pride in that combination.
Yeah. Another thing we offer to kind of support the career side of things are the art business workshops. So this is a whole list of what is coming up. January, we're going to go through making the social media and marketing plan. And these are about 45 minutes long, so you won't leave with everything written out for that, but you're going to leave with really thinking through the themes of your year, how you want to think about your social media and sort of the ethos of what your brand's about. February, we're going to talk about photos of your work. That is, for me, such a challenge, is getting that organized and getting proper photos. March is strategies for your art newsletter. So often we hear artists say, I really need to send it out. Well, it's a lot easier when you have a plan and sort of have made that commitment, which again is all in the map as well. April is 5 ways to make stronger connection with your audience. We this year spent a lot of time talking through networking. So we're kind of taking those highlights of those workshops and kind of creating these 5 ways that you can really connect with your audience, whether that's online or people that come physically to your shows. May is 5 ways to make your exhibitions work for you. So it is a lot of work to put on an exhibition, and I believe that exhibitions actually live on way longer than the date. Even a one night show a year from then, you can be still using those photos, still thinking about the impact it had on your career, and kind of getting that out to the world. So I'm excited about that one. June, we actually have a guest, Michelle Landel, who's an artist from Paris, who's in multiple galleries. And so she's gone through the process of figuring out what do galleries need to see and what do they look for. So she's going to teach that one for us, which is really exciting. July, we take a break as a community. So it's a rest month and just kind of enjoy the summer. And we kind of get you prepped for that, which is really fun. And then August is how to share more of your art with the world, which, we're all looking to do. It's the point of being artists. It's the scary part of being capital A artists, is how do we share and getting that out there. September is art inventory, which I definitely need that workshop, is how are we staying organized. October is strategies for better customer service with April Assure. So April has been an artist for full-time artist for definitely at least 10 years, probably 15. And she really prides herself on customer service. She has a really loyal customer base that provides her business to thrive year after year. So she's going to teach that one for us. And November is about money. So how do we add routine to think about money in a routine way? How do we talk about it more and bring it more into our lives? And then December is holiday fun, where we are right now. Whew, I did it.
You did it, Jamie. All of these workshops are included in the membership. There's no like extra fee for those or anything. And we always record the workshops, and so you don't have to join us live. But you'll basically have access to these 10 great workshops, which I don't know, is a pretty good value, I think, right?
Definitely. And so we've been thinking a lot about 2024. So we wanted to ask you these questions. Where do you build community with other artists into your calendar? So it's easy to say, I've met lots of artists, and a common thing, is I want a mentor. I would love to like get to know other artists, but these things don't just happen. And me and Kaylin have seen that year over year. And now being in this very thriving community where, we meet weekly, at least over 50 artists, sometimes over 75 artists, those are times that are booked in to connect. So thinking about right now, as you go into 2024, where are you building that community? And then what consistent habits do you have that help you receive support? It's one thing to give it out and then receive it. We want to think of both those things. And that last question is, what artists do you encourage each month? That might just be on Instagram by liking and, reposting for other people. But we talk a lot about, we want to give just as much as we get. That's what builds community.
Yeah, so our art and tea sessions are really our time to gather weekly as a community. There's a few weeks that we take off, but we generally meet every week on Tuesdays. And this is where we kind of have this combination of content that we're sharing. We're talking through like a specific topic or a theme, but then it's combined with these opportunities for you to connect. So we split the session into breakout rooms, and you actually get in small groups with other artists to share. You're always available to, just put on that session and keep your camera off and just listen to it. It's not the type of thing where you have to participate in one particular way. Again, we're all about flexibility and, fluidity with what we offer. But art and tea is really kind of our bread and butter in terms of what we do every week. And all of the sessions are like already planned out. So you can actually see what we're going to be talking about, what the sessions we're going to be going over are. And that will help you like in your decision to, is this the kind of thing that I really want to sign up for and be a part of every week? Are these things that I might need? Like, do I need to talk about focus? And, do I care about my money mindset? Do I want to do the art residency? Right. It'll help you kind of see like, what we're really doing each week. And every art and
And one thing to add is
go ahead.
One thing to add, sorry, is that the art and teas, of course, are recorded as we've talked about, just like the workshops. And if you are listening to that later, this lives on our network. So it's like an online platform, just like, similar to Facebook or Instagram. You have the content, and then underneath it is a place to ask questions, leave comments, connect with other artists there. And as Kaylin and I are always on it. So if you have a question that comes up as you're watching it, especially for the workshops, you can ask it and you'll get an answer within, a day or two. So there is, even if you're not able to be live, the network is this robust place where you can participate. We have members that have never come to an R&T. Yep. And they just experience by the network, and they're busy and they want to have these, again, just like an online friends, just as you would on Instagram. But the great thing about the online platform of the network is that it's just a really safe and like special place where people are very positive and giving. So
yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Caitlin. Sorry.
Every art and tea session also has a worksheet. So, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Thriving Artists map, but one of the things that we wanted was that this book would kind of create this flow that we do together as a community. You also can use the map individually, whether you sign up for membership and attend art and tea or not, because we put directions for how to do each activity. But the cool thing about art and tea is, and the map, if you have both, is that you are literally following this workbook together with other artists. It's kind of like the school experience, right? But we're all adults, and so we get to choose what we want to do, and it's just like really fun. If you kind of like a little bit of a guide for what to think about and what to focus on in your art career and art practice.
And if you don't mind, Kaylin, just going back to the other slide, a great example of exactly what Kaylin is saying is this idea of that we're all doing this together, but our careers are so different and our goals are so different that we are making our own work, we're making our own goals. And so you're able, like, this is your studio practice, but we're just giving you the container to put it in. So for example, the art residency, you sign up, we do a planning session, you're making your own plan, but then you're breaking into small groups online and talking to people about your plan and how you're going to do it, getting advice, people who have done it before. And then during that month of the art residency, you have your own studio goals, you're making your own work, but you're coming back to check in. Or if you can't do that live, you're filling in prompts on the network. So every week they'll be like, what are you working on this for art for art residency week 1, and everyone shares. That's really fun, and people will post pictures. So you're very much doing your own thing and reaching your own goals, but it's just instead of something on Instagram where everyone is really doing their own thing, with us, you're part of this cohesive community, but also these little programs within it. So that is a big thing. I think it was a great question from Stephanie of how do you work on your own things, but then how does that integrate into a community? And that's really these check-ins, these worksheets. The Thriving Artist Map is how we get everyone. We needed everyone to be doing the same thing, but have all the freedom they needed. It was a hard balance. So, but it worked really well this year and people got so much out of it.
Oh yeah, the like having so we 2023 was the first year that we had the map. You know, we're advertising to you the teal or the green one that you see is the 2024 version. But if you're new here, we had one for this year, 2023. And in 2022, the year before, we didn't have anything. We were kind of just flying by the seat of our pants. And so it was just amazing to, you know, now we have this whole, I don't have my 2023 map with me, but it's like, I have this whole book that I've recorded my art career in, you know, through this whole year. And Jamie and I were just having a conversation yesterday, and she's like, let me look back and see what my goal was for that.
Yeah.
And she was,
Well, I was thinking about what I was feeling like I hadn't accomplished much this year because it got really busy. And then we're doing wrap up now of
oh, we
kind
had
of
a baby.
reflection. I had a baby. Yes, so it was a little bit busy. And then, but having the map, I got to go back and see that I had 5 big goals, and 3 of them I got done. So it was a really rewarding to have put in that work at the beginning of the year to kind of wrap up at the end.
So another thing that we offer, and this is actually new in the Thrive Together Network membership this year, this was a request from our community, because every year we put out a survey and we want to know what, you know, you guys want from us and what you want from the community. And folks said that they wanted more sort of professional artist talks. So we have reached out to several people in the community who are just amazing leaders. And these are the 4 talks that we're going to have in 2024. They're already all confirmed. In Q1, we're going to have Danielle Crissa, otherwise known as the Jealous Curator. She's going to come share. Hetty Judah is a big advocate for artist mothers. She's written books and done exhibitions on art and caregiving. She's going to be our guest curator and speaker in Q2. Kimia Klein is an artist and curator also, and she's going to be our guest for Q3. And then Rachel Hayes is a textile artist. She does big installation work. She's going to be our guest artist for Q4. And all of these talks, they've already written out descriptions for what they're going to share. This is available on our website, so you can review that. You know, even these talks alone, like I think are just such an amazing value. And it's going to be so fun to look forward to having one of these talks per quarter to look forward to and inspire us.
Yeah, and then another program, and this is how Kaylin and I started working together. We actually came up with this idea, which is taking up space. And we ask artists in their own communities to put on an art show. But we provide, again, this idea that we have you doing your own thing, your own goals, your own practice, but we provide the support. So we created a course within the network, and it's basically will teach you how to put on an art show. If you're doing it on your own, it's from start to finish. So that's how I started my career, was doing my own sort of one night sort of grassroots. Very much I was ready to show my work and wanted to show it and figured out how to do it. And Kaylin's done her own exhibitions. So we put together a whole guide. It has resources. And then everyone within the community, they're working on this. If they want to, you do not have to put on a show. But the shows all happen, around May is typically what happens, but it can be any sort of month in that spring. And then we do a big, we do sessions at Art and Tea, kind of celebrating those shows in May. So again, it's like a goal to put on a show, but now you have a place to have other people doing it as well, talk about it. Our whole goal is that you don't feel isolated and alone as an artist. And I think there's a lot of places that you can in the arts. And so We really want putting on a show to feel exciting. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, Crit Crew is another one of our programs I'll just briefly touch on. This is a program, the one thing that we're sort of advertising here and sharing about here that is a paid program on top of membership, because this is actually a critique crew where you have 9 weeks. We recruit mentors who are, beloved leaders in our community, people we really admire and who are very well skilled in giving specific feedback on artists' work, doing it in careful and considerate ways. So this is a program where you'll sign up to work with a specific mentor. You'll have 9 weeks in a small group atmosphere where you meet once a week. And there's a lot more to that program. You can find more information about it on our website under Crit Crew. I'm currently leading a group, and right now the groups are about to wrap up. I have my meeting with my group tomorrow, and it's our 7th out of the 9th meeting. And then we will be running this program again in the spring. So you can kind of check back for like when sign-up dates are going to happen. You do have to be a member of the Thrive Together Network to be part of Crit Crew, because all of the sort of activity, the organization around the program is on the network. It's kind of our platform for how we share the program with you and how your mentors will communicate with you. So again, you can check more about that on our website. Maybe Jamie, you can drop the link in, or it's right at the top under programs.
Yeah.
But
it is an extra fee on
yes.
top of your membership, because you have a mentor artist that we pay and you have a visiting artist that we pay to come in and run sessions. So it is different than our regular programming. And so we offer this in the spring, and we do offer it in the fall. So the fall one is just wrapping up, and then the spring one will start in March. So yeah, it's a really popular program.
Yeah, so we just wanted to touch base, as we move towards wrapping up here, and we will have a time for specific questions. But we really believe in this idea of like seasons and rhythms. I think living in this like era of social media and sort of digital consumption, we often feel pressure to just operate at this 100% level all of the time. And we really believe in the value of taking things in seasons and moving with like a more natural rhythm that feels good to you, because we don't believe it's healthy to operate at 100% all the time, right? Like you can't go all out, have 40 hours a week in the studio, care for kids, have an extra job, have a spouse you're caring for. Like there's just so many things on our plates, right? So one of the things that we really like about this idea of signing up for a year with us is that you will ebb and flow in and out of these rhythms of your art practice, right? You will have times, big pushes for making a lot of art, but then you might have a month where you don't make any art and you just focus on your art admin, right? We want you to have times built into your rhythms where you're enjoying rest. We want you to show your work. We want you to get feedback on your work, right? We want you to stay organized. We want you to have community and career growth. But we think it's like natural to move in and out of those things and to try to engage with all of those things in ways that are sustainable, not in ways that are just at 100% all the time. Because, I think that's part of facilitating community too, is that we're just always reminding each other that we're human. And yes, we're getting motivation from each other and inspiration from each other, but also we're providing each other with this like very safe space to land and to just be. And I think that's what makes kind of this combination of working alone and doing your own thing, but then having the support of the community, such a great combination, because you're just reminded that, you're human and you don't have to do it all at once, right?
Also, one thing that we believe in here is commitment. And a big thing for me for this is that at this time of year, it's exciting to have this fresh slate of a new year. And it's exciting to think of all the things we're going to do. And what I love about having a physical book that is a commitment for a year is that it isn't something that I have to get all excited about. And then I've talked about this before, but I typically drop off my New Year's plan around March, which I think is pretty good. It's like 3 months. And but by March it's all fallen apart, and it's easy to say, okay, it's all out the window then. All the writing, all the goals, I'm just gonna onwards kind of thing. But having these weekly sessions, it's just this grounding of, okay, I said I wanted to do this, but I have a whole year ahead of me. And that's something I love about the year split in quarters. So you can say, these are my goals, but I'm not going to do this thing till quarter three. And quarter three isn't till, our summer months. And so it's really nice to say that's the space that belongs. Instead of, in the past, it's been a whole laundry list of stuff I want to do. And March, a couple things are done, but not very much. And it's just, I get depleted and defeated.
Yeah.
And so we really love this idea of that it's a holistic view, it's an entire year. One of the things we do in our planning sessions that we'll do in the new year is talk about, it feels like a long time as a year, but actually it's not. So, be wise about how you set goals. We'd rather wins than feeling like I had all this momentum and now it's gone. So, commitment, the biggest thing we say is do a year with us. And it's a big ask. It would be easier for us to say to people now, like, join us in the new year. But that's why we have these sessions, is the importance of, it's sustainable, it goes with the rhythms, you're gonna reach your goals, but you need time to do it.
And I think too, like, it's just a gift to plan for your future self. Like, because when you get to that moment of, okay, this thing was due now, if you've done some of that preparation of saying, okay, I'm going to think backwards and like, what do I need to plan when, and how can I do this in a sustainable way? I just think we think a lot about how to be kinder to ourselves as artists. And one of the ways that we found that you can be kind to yourself is having this vision for the year and then setting up sustainable ways to, work through that vision in bite-sized pieces. So it's not overwhelming, Okay, so the
How
plan,
do you commit?
yeah, like
What do we do?
what do we do here? So, the idea of like the challenge that we're presenting to you is sort of this combination, as we've shared, about membership, about using this map of, really committing to this book and saying, like, I'm going to go through this book with you. I'm going to go through it with other artists. I'm going to commit to my own art career in 2024 and, commit to this challenge, take the challenge of committing myself, to my art practice. And I'm going to share about that commitment with my community. So there's kind of 4 steps to get you started. The investment that we're looking at for membership is $45 a month. It's actually cheaper. You save $145 when you just sign up for the whole year, which is what we recommend. Because then you really, as we've shared, we plan this out as a year. So it's $365 to join the Thrive Together Network for the year. The map actually is yours for free. A digital version of the map in PDF form. You just get that whenever you join the network, when you join membership. But you can also buy the hard copy. Again, you don't have to join the Thrive Together Network and become a member to use the map, but you can buy the hard copy to use. That's really what we recommend. It's so fun to show up to Art and Tea every week and everybody pulls out their map and we like go through the pages together. We have to look up what page number we're on and we're like, okay, we're on page 123. It's just so fun to go through that together. The third step again is this idea of commitment. So we have this toolkit that we've gifted to you. That's probably why you're here, as you saw us advertising the toolkit, and a challenge checklist, which is, this way for you to think through what you're committing to. And then of course, community. We really believe the investment and the value that you receive from participating in community is priceless. And we think that our global community of artists is truly the best. And there's so many amazing, amazing artists who are on the network that we would love to introduce you to. Big note, we do have scholarship plans. So please email us if you're interested in membership, but you feel like that price point is a bit high. We never want finances to hold you back. That's really not the point here. The point is to support you in your art career and to do that in ways that, are diverse and inclusive. So please email us if a scholarship plan is something that would be a better fit for you at this time. You can email us at info@thrivetogethernetwork.com.
And when we start out writing this map, this book, and every month has a theme. So we kind of have walked you through what makes sense, for each section, part of the year. And we really look at it as what if an artist filled out this entire book? What would the impact be on their career and on their life? And so, we spent 2023, we've gone through the book, and I've seen it's just huge what's happened, because I've written it down, so I know, for one, which, like, other years I've had successes, but I didn't have this place where it all lived. And so it's all there. Plus, I've had weekly meetups with artists, and I've had weekly content that I've been able to learn from and add to my practice. So that's really our intention is, what would a year with us look like? And that's why we are making this challenge to everyone now. What would it be like if you came to live sessions or watched them every Tuesday, if you had access to over 400 artists? You did 2 virtual residencies. The amount of artwork we see getting made during that time is amazing. What if you showed your work, did your own art show, business workshops, so you're learning something every month, and then you're participating on the network with the resource library and challenges and prompts. It would be a very different year, and we're really excited about that for 2024.
Yeah, so I think just to wrap up, as I was thinking about kind of a final note to leave with this idea of a challenge, I was thinking about how in the book Big Magic, which is, if you've not read that book as an artist, it's just an amazing book to read. But there's this quote where Elizabeth Gilbert says, "So this, I believe, is an essential question upon which all creative living hinges. Do you have the courage to bring forth the treasures that are hidden within you?" And I thought that related so well to this challenge, because it's a lot to make these commitments. It's hard to have the self-confidence to sign up for things and invest in your art career. It's hard to commit to the time. It's hard to commit to the resources, right? But I think in that commitment, there's just so much reward, because you learn that you are so much more brave and courageous than you realize. And really, it's the artists who are out there taking those risks, who are believing in themselves, who are putting in that work, they're the ones that, are going to live on, have their work in amazing places and have their work in books, and the ones that we're talking about, right? They're the ones kind of taking the big risks. So we definitely invite you all into this courageous new year, no matter how that looks like for you, whether you plan to join us or not. We hope this was, an inspiration for you, just to think about the ways that you're getting sort of those 3 pillars that we talked about: personal nourishment and motivation, planning tools and career strategies, and then community and support with other artists. So we would love for you to take the challenge and, just be a thriving artist with us in 2024. You can sign up now. Jamie's putting the links, I believe, in the chat, or just reach out to us if you're like, yeah, but what about this? Feel free to shoot us an email. Also, we'll stick around for a few more minutes here to just take questions if anybody has questions that they want to share.
Yeah, and it's just our website, thrivetogethernetwork.com, to get all the membership and the maps. A couple questions that have come up. One is we talked about a resource library that's on the network. So what that is just over the years of Kaylin and I working with so many artists, we have just written steps, articles, found resources, different websites. Like, for example, one is how to price a mural. And so we have 6 websites that give more information. We write how to price and kind of work as a mural artist. And that all just lives as, content that you can use on the network. We have some freebie content on our website under freebies. They're blog posts and they're related to our podcast. And our podcast also is us sort of listing, it's all kind of like freebie content and how to do things. So yes, that is there for you. And Teresa just asks, can annual membership be broken up into monthly payments? Yes. So it's $45 a month. And you are welcome to join. And it is basically, you can cancel anytime. It's all done through the network. You sign up there and then you can cancel your membership. And then annual, you do save. It works out $45 a month if you're paying monthly. And once you pay that annual fee, you're paying closer to about $30 a month, I think, because you save $140 for doing the annual. Because we really wanted that it's important to us that we have a very committed community and this idea that we're doing this together for a year. So that's why we're really focused on that annual. And another question from Carly earlier on was, why is the community focused towards female, non-binary, and trans women artists? And for us, we wanted to create a space where we have conversations that, really deal with the world from the lens of the female lens. And Kaylin, her community was Artist Mothers, how it started. And mine started actually in person in Vancouver. And why I started was because I was working in the studio with a male artist and I saw the community that he had and the confidence that he had. I was kind of privy to the boys club at the time. And I thought there really should be a woman club of our own. So I started meeting with artists in Vancouver, and we would put on talks and go to each other's shows. And it really became this bonding experience. That was over 10 years ago. So the world is different now. There's so many communities and places to go meet people. It's amazing for any person, wherever there's a community for everyone, I think now. And I think that's the magic of the internet and Zoom calls. So it's a different world now, but I think it's so important that whoever you are, that you have space to be yourself. So we're excited to be part of that. Any other questions? Anything to add, Kaylin?
No, I think you said that perfectly, Jamie.
Okay, great. Well, we're excited to see you all in the network. We are excited to see your art and tea and to thrive together with our map in 2024.
Definitely reach out if you have additional questions. We are offering 2 more free open sessions to wrap up the year. So if you weren't at Art and Tea yesterday, where we started our art plans for 2024, there's a replay of that available. It's on our link tree in our Instagram profile. We've also sent it in our newsletter if you're a part of our newsletter. But then the next 2 Tuesdays, our Art and Tea sessions are also, just open to the public. You can get on our newsletter to have access to those, or those links are also in our link tree. So if you're kind of like, yeah, but I really want to like experience an Art and Tea session and see, join those the next couple of weeks, and it'll really give you an idea of, what we're offering and who the artists are that you might be engaging with.
What you're in for.
Yeah.
What are you in for?
All right.
Awesome. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.